Hey everyone, so today what I want to work on is I want to put up some shelves in this shed. So I already did a bunch of prep work for this, so let me kind of show you what I got. I'm using closet-made railings. So those are the rail pieces. These along the ground are the top header pieces, and I got some over here, and on this wall I'm just going to use them full length. These are 80 inches long each piece, so I'm going to be doing a 12-foot span on this side, and this side is a little over 10 feet, and I'm going to be putting the rails at every other stud. So one here, one here, one here, one here, and this last piece I actually added in because there was nothing there. So it's 5 rails on this side, and again I cut these to length already, and one piece I got up there already. So what I want to do is I want to have the top of the rail align with the top of that 2x4. So what I'm doing is I'm actually putting some, just a couple of temporary blocks kind of held in there with some clamps, and that will help me align everything. And that should be really nice. So when it comes time to put in the rails, I will put some screws through those. And I don't know if I ever showed you this. This is my little screw assortment. And this is super handy. I made a couple of these, and it's all drywall screws. I use exterior screws on everything wherever possible. I got, except 1 inch don't come in the exterior grade, so I got 1 inch drywall screws, 1 1/4, 1 5/8, 2 inch, 2 1/2, 3, 3 1/2, and some washers that fit these pretty nicely if I need them. And this is so handy. It's so much easier than like working out of the larger boxes of screws, and it's super easy to grab whatever you need. I use these everywhere. So I think this is just a plastic bin that I got from Home Depot. This particular one's Arco Mills. I don't quite remember where I got it from, but yeah, I love these screw assortments that I created there. So I guess without further ado, let's start hanging some of this hang track. And for this, I'm going to use some of the 1 1/4 screws. There's so many of them. In these rails, I don't think it's going to matter. Another thing is I'm going to have the rail, the center rail, split the difference between 2 of these hang rails, partially for aesthetics, and in theory it should be the most secure option, but we'll see. So I'm just going to throw some screws in here if these screws cooperate. Put a few in at first, make sure everything's lined nicely, and then I'll come back and put in the rest. these screw heads are filled with the coating. Oh, every other screw, that seems pretty good. At least for the test fit. So, not be able to thread this one through as easily. Let's do this. Actually, a very tight fit there. That's kind of good, actually. great. Well, shoot, I just realized my real idea isn't going to work so well over here. We'll improvise. So, since it won't be easy for me to see where the center is, I put a temporary stop screw in up here. Butt that up against that screw. Not easy doing this one person. Let's try this. That's annoying. That's 2 screws down. It's aligned as best as I can get it. Today. Last warm day of the year, most likely. Pretty darn good. Go around and put screws in those through holes. Easy part. the annoying part. The battery's about to die. Oh yeah, the battery's about to die. And it died. I will be right back after I get another battery. All right, got another battery. Back in business. hardest part. Now for one of the easiest parts. These just lay in there. Alright, so now, let's see how long a screw I want to use. These are 2 inches. That might be overkill. We're going to go with 2.5. So what I'm going to do is set these. Fill all these screws with, or all these holes with screws. Alright, now we just keep filling the screw holes. in. All right. Here we have it. Got 5 rails on this side. And there's 1, 2, 4 screws on each rail. And there's tons of screws along that top rail. That top rail is kind of like an added weight bearing portion. And another benefit is that it helps align everything really nice. So as you saw, I didn't actually use a level on any of this because I'm just going off of the shed level. And over there we got 5. And yeah, like I said, it's going to be a 12-foot shelves on this wall, and I'll go the full length. It's just over 10 feet on that wall. So I got to buy the brackets. I'm kind of doing this in stages because this stuff's expensive. This materials for this, just what I put up today, was about $300. But let me show you something that you might have saw a glimpse of in an earlier video or earlier videos. I hit the jackpot on Facebook Marketplace. I needed 4. Originally I was going to start out with 4 shelves, just 4 shelves on one side. The 4 shelves were going to cost me $180. I bought all of this for $180. These are 12-foot sections. I think there's something like 60 pieces here of the various depths. Yeah, there is a lot here. And I'm hoping to sell some of this off on Craigslist, is where I'll probably try to sell it. That's where I prefer to sell things locally. I'm not personally a fan of Facebook Marketplace, but I do use it sometimes. So, yeah, I have lots and lots of shelving. And there's a few more pieces over here. I set them aside because they're either cut or bent. So, still usable material, but yeah, just a few shelves. So I'll take you back into the shed once more for a quick look around. And like I said, I got to get the brackets and then I'll start hanging some shelves. I think I'm probably going to put 20-inch deep shelves on the back wall and probably 16-inch ones on the side wall. Actually, I'll grab my tape measure. Yeah, I could actually go with the 20-inch shelves on this wall. It would come right out to the edge of the door if I do that. So maybe I'll do that. So 20-inch shelves on that side, 20-inch shelves on the back. Oh, that's actually going to take up a lot of room in this shed. We'll see. Maybe I'll buy one set of brackets, see how they look, and if I don't like it, then I will use them on the back wall. We're back to putting the shelves in the shed, and this will look a lot different to you than it did in the last bit where I put the rails up. I got all the hangers up on this one wall. These are super easy. They just literally clip in. The hard part was buying them. They're expensive. I did get a bit of a deal of them on eBay. And also, the shed is a little full with stuff now. So this is a lot of the wood from the old shed. I started bringing some of the shelves in. And over here, half the shed is filled with cabinets. I got these from a friend. These are actually brand new. They were installed but never used it was going to be a second kind of in-law type apartment in the basement, and they started it, installed the cabinets, but never actually finished. Nothing was actually hooked up, none of the electrical, none of the plumbing, and apparently the owner passed away before they finished it, and my friends didn't actually want this in their basement, so they gave it to me, and which works out really well because cabinets are expensive, and it just so happens that they had exactly the pieces that I need for my kitchen. So look to that for a future video, but at the moment they do take up a lot of room in the shed here. But for now, let's work on some shelving. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take a measurement. This side, all of the shelves need to be cut down, and on the back wall they will be full length, 12 foot. So I'm using the 16-inch deep shelves everywhere, and let's go up and I will show you how I'm going to cut them. Alright, so here's the shelving we're going to use. I'm going to cut these to 128 inches and test for fit. That should be like a half an inch too long, but I might be able to sneak it in there. If it doesn't fit, then I'll trim it down. But that's where we're going to start. I always cut it down, can't make it. And for this, I'm going to use an angle grinder. It's a metal cutting blade. You can use bolt cutters, but this is what we're going to use. Alright, I'll carry this down and we'll go test the fit. So it is a little tight. I am going to cut the peg off of that right hand side, and I think it will fit actually perfectly if I do that. Be right back. I'm going to grab the grinder. So yes, it'll fit, but I'm actually going to round the peg off of that end, just to give me a little extra room. I'm going to kind of scoot that one up. So noted for next time. There we go. Right. So we'll just do that 3 more times for this side, and then we'll throw up the other ones. I'll come back when I have all of this up. Alright, so it is the next day. I ended up pressure washing all of these shelves because they were dirty, and they cleaned up really nicely. But it got dark by the time I finished that up, so I couldn't take a picture. So it's the next day, all the shelves are installed, and they came out really nice. And as you can see, I already started filling them up. Once shelves are present, it doesn't take long to fill them. But that's what all of this looks like. And yeah, I brought all of the extra shelving back in. All the 21-inch is at the bottom. All the 9-inch is on the first shelf there. And I ended up selling all of the 12-inch. Ended up making my money back on what I paid for all of these shelves. So that was awesome. So the wire shelving ended up being effectively free, and if I sell any more, then I'll make a profit, which is awesome. Help pay for some of the brackets and the rest of the parts that I used. And yeah, this came out really nice. Oh, another thing I wanted to mention is how I came up with the spacing. Is basically I just put every bracket just above where the screw mark is on all these shelves, so they're all lined up, all even. I can always adjust them if I need to, but that seemed like a good default position. Another thing I wanted to mention is over here I do have a few inch gap between the shelves. I technically could move these over so they butted up against it, but I didn't feel like it. I figured I'd rather have these centered, and that's where we're at. So, one last look. So I have my Harbor Freight ramps, it's just temporary, and I got the lawnmower all washed, ready to go, be put away for this winter. And I'm hoping that center beam isn't too high for this lawnmower, but let's see if we can get this backed in. And this will be the last video for the shed, I think. Thanks for watching, everyone.